Hi, Neil again. This is just a quick video. We often talk about false positive on electronic moisture meters. Obviously, various things will trigger a reaction on the meter. And then it's easy to assume then that we're dealing with damp related issues when in fact it may well be that the walls are actually dry. So I'm looking at the rear elevation of this property. And we can see the pointing's in generally good condition, bit of vegetation in the gutter there. The soil stack, fair bit of corrosion around the soil stack. The rainwater goods don't look brilliant, but generally the repointing work has been done, I would say, in the last few years, possibly the last decade. But sometimes you get little tips or little clues on what you're going to be up against. And I'm going to bring you down to this point here where they haven't repointed. And we can see the grey mortar bed and the grey perpendicular. And then the same again there, adjacent to the waste pipe. So that tells us that this property was constructed with a lime-based mortar with a black ash additive. Now, what's the relevance of that when it comes to electronic moisture meters? Well, I'm going to walk you through the house. I'm on with the upstairs at the moment, so I'll carry on up there. But we talk about the meters. Are they a useful tool? Absolutely. Do they tell you exactly what the problem is? Absolutely not. But when you come into a property and you find that you're getting elevated readings, or relatively high readings, so I put that on the wall. We're at a height of 1.8 there. And actually I've hit a spot where it's actually saying on the meter it's wet. So I come away from that, it should drop off. Now it's saying it's at risk. Again, we've hit a spot where it says the wall is wet, and so on. So we scan the wall. The meter is making a lot of noise constantly, which indicates that there's a problem. Come on to the other side of the wall. There you are. We found a spot there saying wet. Comes along, and so on. Very, very typical. But if we see the black ash mortar in the mortar beds, this is a chimney breast within the bedroom. So the chimney breast, same again. You can see the average reading, and then we'll hit someone there. There we are. We've hit a spot which says that it is wet, and it's the same throughout the property. Internal partition wall, which is stud work, obviously much lower readings, nothing to get excited about. Go through into the rear bedroom, exactly the same thing. External elevation, height of 2 meters, at risk. But we'll hit spots where it suddenly then goes into the red. And then we automatically assume that there's a problem. It often gets mistaken for rainwater penetration. There you are. Now that's where we are in relation to the window. So black ash mortar, if you see black ash mortar in the mortar beds, there's a very good chance that the actual plaster will contain black ash as well. You often find when you remove the wall plaster that it's got black ash content in it. So all the meter is doing is reacting with the carbon in the black ash, and it's given us an exaggerated reading, that we refer to as a false positive. So you've got to be careful when you're doing these surveys that your meter is actually what it's telling you is correct, because it's a machine. It doesn't differentiate between different types of damp. So we have to then make an assessment based on the evidence that we've seen at the time of survey. I know the surveyor did flag various issues in the property correctly. There are some issues in the property. But ultimately, it did say that the property appears to be maybe affected by significant rainwater penetration because of the elevated readings on the walls. And it's purely that black ash carbon content within the render and within the mortar joints that's given us that reaction. So the original walls, every wall has given me a high reading. Go on to the stud partitions, just drops off. So it's just something to watch out for. It's always worth having a look, get a close look at the external mortar joints. If you can see black ash, it gives you a good heads up that that's what you're dealing with internally on the rendering system as well. Okay, I hope this helps the less experienced surveyors, and have a great day. Take care now. Bye-bye.